Primiera might be the world's first in-game Easter egg. Hey everybody, I'm Chris. Welcome to Playing Games. Have you ever played the popular Italian card game Scopa? If not, check out my video on how to play Scopa and get started. For those of you who have played Scopa, did you know that there is an Easter egg hidden in the game? Within Scopa are the remnants of a very ancient game from the late Middle Ages. That game is called Primiera, and its complicated rules still exist as a way to earn a point in modern-day Scopa. This certainly is not my first video mentioning Primiera. Not many people can say that. But I've always wondered why such a complicated scoring scheme lived in a light game like Scopa. Surely there are easier ways to assign a point in the game. I fell into a rabbit hole and began to uncover its unique origins, and what I found was pretty crazy. Primiera might be the world's first in-game Easter egg. That it has remained hidden in another game rather than fading away into dust is a miracle. One of the trickiest aspects of teaching Scopa is explaining how Primiera works. I'm going to show you what I mean with this poker-style deck. As with most Italian games, the 8s, 9s, and 10s have been removed, making it a 40-card deck. For beginners, you might teach Primiera with the Tunisian Sicilian rules. That's 1 point is given for Primiera, which is whoever's the most 7s. If there's a tie and whoever's the most 7s, the tie break goes to the player who has the most 6s. If that's also a tie, no one gets the Primiera point. This is the Nona Clara version of Scopa, the one my grandmother plays this way, as do other Southern Italian and North African variations. This is the easiest way to count the Primiera point, but it's not generally accepted as the official way, and certainly not the way Primiera was intended to play. Primiera's history is as old as the history of playing cards themselves. 500 years ago, Primiera was a wildly popular game unto itself. The first record of Primiera was noted in the year 1526, though it likely existed for years or even decades before that. Primiera, or prime, the word means first, and there is strong evidence that Primiera is one of the first card games in the world, in Europe at least. A listing of the game even appeared in the page-turning 1591 book, Notable Discovery of Kuznaj. Have you read it? Drop a review in the comments. Primiera was super popular. Famous poets wrote whole poems about the game. It was played by popes, emperors, merchants, farmers, ladies, lasses. It was played by everyone. Shakespeare was playing it.
I never prospered since I forswore myself at Primero.
In fact, Primiera was the first game to have a printed rulebook. Capitolo del gioco dalla Primiera was published in Rome in 1526. Primiera was certainly the granddaddy of poker. If you had time and could afford a deck of cards, you would have been playing this Italian gambling card game. So how do you play Primiera? First, let's see how it's played inside of modern-day Scopa. The Primiera point is given to the Scopa player who has the highest total based on their best cards in each of the 4 suits. The best is based on this Primiera point system. 7s are worth 21, 6s are worth 18, aces are worth 16 points, 5s are worth 15 points, 4s are worth 14 points, 3s are worth 13, 2s are worth 12 points, and face cards are worth 10 points. As described in my Scopa video, you're going to pull out 4 cards to make your Primiera point, 1 from every suit. So you want to try to find the highest card based on the Primiera point system. 7s are the highest, so you'll try to find those first, then 6s, then aces, and continue on down the line. Here we have one player who has the 7 of hearts and the 7 of clubs, and then no more 7s. They do have some 6s. They have the 6 of diamonds. They also have the 6 of hearts, but they can't use it because hearts already has a spot. It's been claimed by the 7. With no more 6s, they use an ace of spades to fill their empty spades spot. That gives them a total of 76 Primiera points. The other player has the other 2 7s, the diamonds one and the spades one. Then they have the 6 of clubs, which will work for their club space. They don't have the 6 of hearts, so they can't fill that space with another 6. The next card you would want to use is an ace, since it's the next highest card. Unfortunately, they don't have the ace of hearts either. Their highest next card is a 5, and they do have the 5 of hearts. And now all players have their Primiera spaces filled. Adding up all these point values gives the second player 75 Primiera points, which is less than the first player. So the first player wins Primiera. And by doing this in Scopa, they would win the 1 Primiera point for that round. So that's how Primiera is played in Scopa now. How does this compare to its original form? Actually, it's pretty close. The original Primiera used a 40-card Italian-style deck. The card values were the same, 7's worth 21 points, all the way down to face cards at 10 points. Earlier I mentioned that Primiera was the forerunner of poker. Well, just how much of Primera's DNA was passed down to poker. Like poker, Primera was a gambling game. Players would first place their antes or bets in the pot. The dealer then deals, counterclockwise, just like in Scopa and other Italian card games. They dealt 2 cards at a time, with a total of 4 cards. Why not 5 cards like poker? Remember, this game is played with a 40-card deck, not a 52-card deck. Also, you want to get 1 card from every suit. For suits, a lucky hand would have 1 card from each suit. Players would then next look at their hand, hoping to have a winning combination. This card game would not be played face up. This is just for demonstration. And right here we have one player who has a Primera hand. That's this player. Every card has a different suit, as you can see. Diamonds, clubs, hearts, spades. You'd add up the Primera points for each of these cards, 7 being 21, 3 being 13, 2 being 12, and a face card being 10, giving you 46. You'd announce to the table that you have a Primera of 46 points. You'd also raise the bet a certain amount. The only way another player could beat you at this point is if they had a higher Primera hand or a better winning hand. And so what hands can beat a Primera? Well, here's the hierarchy from high to low. The highest winning hand is 4 of a kind. Then comes a 4-card flush. And then a straight flush of 6, 7, ace. Then a Primera hand, which is all suits are different. And lastly, a 2 or 3-card flush. These winning hands also had cool Latin names. Acorus, Fluxus, Supremus, Primera, Numeris. It's too bad this game died because those names are great. So each player got their hand, and likely they didn't get anything spectacular. But if you did get one of the winning combinations, you would announce it. Players try to get a better hand than yours by refreshing their hands with new cards. Also, it's important to mention that, like poker, you can lie about what you really have. The actual gameplay is pretty complex, and it takes some tries to play like a 16th century marquis. Since this is a gambling game, it wouldn't be fun to play alone. You really need a table full of liars and cheats to really enjoy Primera to its fullest. But if you are interested in giving it a try, the famous mathematician Girolamo Cardano wrote about Primera in his 1663 book, The Book on Games of Chance. Check that out, and there's also a nice breakdown of the game by Jeff A. Suzuki, which I've linked in the description. What you need to know about Primera is that it ignited a revolution in gaming, and through its popularity, it helped unite commerce in Europe and beyond. Coming out of the feudal age, there was little to unite countries, even regions. The food, the culture, the language were all insulated. Having a card game that could be played from the boot of Italy up to the Scottish Highlands suddenly gave rise to a common language. I might not understand your words, but I know you're bluffing. As the game evolved, it became less Primera and more poker, until it became what it is today. But thanks to the Italians, Primera wasn't fully chucked into the waste bin of history. If you've ever visited Italy, you'll know that the Italians are masters of preservation. In Rome, you can walk down the same stone streets emperors would have walked on 2,000 years ago. The Italians have found a way to coexist with their past. Even when Roman mythology was displaced by Christianity, the temples weren't torn down, just converted into churches. And the Roman gods were given saints' names, so Italians could both worship Christ and party on saints' holidays. So while other countries tossed out Primera for poker, Italy found a way to preserve the game forever. Just like putting an ancient statue in a museum, Primera is safely housed forever in modern-day Scopa. I'm Chris, and I'll see you next time on Playing Games. Did you like this video? Let me know if I got something wrong, or you heard it differently, or just want to say hi. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Help keep this alive. Also, help support the hard work that goes into these videos by giving to our Patreon. You are great. Thank you. Oh, look at this card. Just click the subscribe button below and you'll earn a point for something. Somewhere.